Hi team, how are you? Are you hanging in there? Are you doing okay? Because this is our last month of the election. Our last best chance to stop the Republican Party from gerrymandering their way into power for another 10 years. It all depends on winning a broad swath of crucial elections in state legislatures across the country. I'm Kara Zlaya from Daily Kos, and this is How Did We Get Here? Is gerrymandering. Gerrymandering is the act of intentionally making certain districts more biased for or against a certain party, a candidate, a region, or even a racial group than they would be if neutral principles had been applied to that district. Maybe you've seen this particular graphic from the Washington Post that shows how gerrymandering can swing elections with these abstract red and blue squares. These three maps were drawn by my colleague Stephen Wolf. These maps compare the actual Republican gerrymander used in 2012 and 2014 with both a hypothetical Democratic gerrymander and a nonpartisan alternative. Here, we can see how easily gerrymandering can turn an evenly divided swing state into either a 10-3 Republican advantage or a 9-4 Democratic one. So cartographers typically have two goals when drawing a partisan gerrymander. They want their party to win as many seats as possible, and they want to make sure that all those seats they win are invulnerable to challenges for quite a long time. A party doesn't need to win every single seat in its legislature as long as it can keep a comfortable majority. And map makers have two strategies that they use to make an effective gerrymander: packing and cracking. With packing, they make a minority of districts as favorable as possible to the other party, quarantining as many partisans as they can in as few districts as possible. They then spread out their supporters more efficiently in the majority of seats, making sure to give their own party a decisive advantage, but not one so great that their own voters become redundant like those in the packed districts. With cracking, cartographers dilute voters who would otherwise, if drawn together, yield a district that would support the opposing party. Instead, these voters are spread between multiple districts in concentrations thin enough to ensure that the cartographer's party will win those seats. Because 2020 is a census year, the maps for Congress and every state legislature have to be redrawn starting in 2021 to reflect the population shifts of the last 10 years. These new districts will play a critical role in determining who will be elected for the next decade. Is this a terrible system? Yes. Is it the one that we have to wage war under? Yes again. If we prevail, we can finally unwind the distorted maps that have allowed Republicans to lock in minority rule for so long. If we don't, we face another decade of watching GOP politicians pick their voters instead of voters picking their politicians. That's why here at Daily Kos we are going all in to support a massive, diverse slate of Democratic candidates running to flip 47 Republican legislative seats in 8 chambers that we can take from Republicans in November. After exhaustive research, these are the chambers we believe are most important for Democrats to target to ensure an end to Republican gerrymandering. In Arizona, a once red state that has become a toss-up this year, Republicans have long sought to destroy the state's independent redistricting commission. To guarantee that the GOP can't try to sabotage that commission again, we need to flip at least one chamber of this very closely divided legislature. In Michigan, voters also approved an independent commission 2 years ago, but the Supreme Court is poised to strike it down. And truly, any panel is like Michigan's. In a 2015 case, the justices upheld Arizona's commission by just a 5-4 vote. And since then, Anthony Kennedy has been replaced by Brett Kavanaugh, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg just died, so we can't trust the Supreme Court at all to do the right thing here. In Minnesota, Democrats already control both the state house and the governorship. So if we can flip the Senate, we can turn the whole state blue for the first time since 2014. This would allow the legislatures to set up an independent commission that would be insulated from the type of legal attacks that could undermine Arizona and Michigan's, which the Supreme Court questioned because they were put on the ballot by ordinary voters. Few can top the North Carolina Republican Republicans when it comes to sheer awfulness. Their extreme gerrymanders were repeatedly struck down by courts for discriminating against black voters and Democrats. So this year, they're finally using new districts that are fair, but they're still far from equitable. If Democrats can flip just one chamber, that'll put an end to the outrageous GOP maps. In Pennsylvania, Republicans have been able to maintain power thanks to some truly terrible maps, even as Democrats have managed to win almost every statewide office. Only the governorship, currently in Democratic hands, stands between the GOP and further gerrymandering. But if we can take back the state house, we can make sure that Republicans can't take a shot at redistricting mid-decade. And finally, there's Texas. Yes, I just said Texas. Democrats have a real shot of reclaiming the state house for the first time in almost 20 years, thanks to an ongoing rebellion in the once red suburbs against the GOP's heinous transformation under Trump. If we win, the entire Republican agenda in the second biggest state in the country will come to a crashing halt, and it'll be a political earthquake like none other. If you want to turn legislatures from red to blue, this is your one-stop shopping opportunity. Look, I know that the news cycle is in fact, I've delayed making this video and uploading this video because it just never felt like the right timing, but our backs are against the wall. This could make a massive change in our politics for the next decade. It's also our opportunity to build a Democratic Party that looks more like its voters. Most of our endorsees are women, people of color, LGBTQ, first-generation Americans, or immigrants. Please, 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 please check the resources below and learn how you can donate to our candidates. And because these are legislative races, your donation makes a huge difference. You get so much more bang for your buck because these races have way smaller budgets than statewide ones or national ones. A little really does go such a long way. We're counting on you, and so are they, and so are the next 10 years of history. Please click the link below to donate to these amazing candidates today. And be sure to hit that like button so that the YouTube algorithm puts this in other people's pages. And let me know in the comments below, what local races are you getting involved with? Because I want to hear all about these amazing candidates. Have a good one.